Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Bockbiertje, and while we are suffering from a second heat wave this year, it's time for my second summary of the past week, which is August 19th to August 25th. I know that I'm a couple of days late, and unfortunately I messed up my first recording, so I had to do this all over. Last week was a bit of a troubled week for me, unfortunately, because I had to go with my dad to the hospital, which stirred things up quite a bit and didn't allow me to stream much. All is good now. He had a lung infection or a pneumonia, I think it's called, but he's on his meds and he's doing very well now. This week is also my week off, so that would normally give me some more time to play and stream games. Unfortunately, like I just told you, we are being hit by the second heat wave this year, and it's not quite normal for the Netherlands, so I'm not used to it. It's very hard to stream with streaming lights on, even without lights and no webcam. It's just too humid and it's no fun. So I will wait till Thursday. The temperatures will be dropping down, as they say. So hopefully they are right on that. So expect me to come back on Thursday. So what was my week all about? I only played a bit of Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, which had a couple of patches, and playing is a bit better than before, aiming wise. With that, I mean is that when you use the aiming assist, your cursor or your crosshair is put inside this tiny box over your target, and within that box, you try to aim at your target and shoot him. And here lies the problem: your crosshair jumps all around that inside that box until it reached the, well, let's call it the wall of the box, and you don't have any sense of precision inside of this. So I thought it was me, but I also see it with other streamers too. So it's definitely not my lack of skills this time. I will try out a new game without any assist at all, so that will not give me uh, that aim assist box where you have to move around in. So I wonder if that will make a difference. Another issue that bothers me is the difficulty scaling. In my opinion, this is still, well, quite off. Hopefully they will address this soon, because right now it's quite unforgiving when you get jumped by lots of pirates. They all shoot missiles at you, minimizing your shield in 1 second and killing you 5 seconds later. Some missions early on are that simple, while the next one seems to be really hard. And this is even in the beginning of the game. So I will promise I will give it some more practice. So over to Star Citizen. Star Citizen saw patch 362 drop into Evocati last week. This patch is completely focused on the 890 jump, which is the first capital size ship at the moment. Now, as I'm redoing this YouTube video because I wrecked my previous recording, the 890 jump got released into the first wave PTU. So not long now before this beautiful ship will shine in the PU. If you have wave 1 access, you can already feast your eyes on it. And if you do own one, but you don't have access to the wave 1 or wave 2, you have to wait for it to go live. And hopefully that will be later on this week. We saw a nice inside look of the quality assurance team of CIG in the latest Inside Star Citizen show last week. Now, these people are the first bug hunters before sending out any patch to the Evocati. QA can also use a lot of tools to inspect and pinpoint bugs better than we can. We only have the game, we have our notebook and our common sense, and we try to reproduce these bugs and upload it to the issue council. Now, Q&A can actually see what's going on a certain level, and get a better understanding of why this bug is happening. Now, besides the tools, they also have the possibility to directly talk to the devs and also the production team. So if something looks like a bug, but they're not certain of it or not certain how the mechanics should work, they can ask them if it's by design or that it's really a bug and what's happening then. Now, their main goal is to prevent the live build going out with game breaking bugs, like really big bugs, because we have bugs all the time in the live environments. Everybody knows that. It's, well, expected. It's alpha. But really, game breaking bugs shouldn't be in there. And even once in a while, a game breaking bug does occur. Right now, as I'm recording this, there's also an issue with the 890 jump shield. Now, there are some other ships as well, which suffer from the fact that when you fire at them with certain weapons, those weapons will ignore the shield and will directly attack on the hull. And that results currently for the 890 jump that you will be killed within 15 seconds, which, in our understanding, is quite game breaking. So that's one example. Now, after this show, it became quite clear that a big part of the community isn't satisfied anymore with the current community content being put out, and that's including me. A lot of downvotes rained down on the YouTube video. This also led to some misconception by some people thinking that this was directed towards the Q&A team, which it wasn't at all. The issue we have with this is the type of content being shown, plus the length of the video. Now, as CIG always says, this content, it's being created and made available by the backers or the subscribers who pay like a 12 euro a month. That's the cheapest. And the other one is somewhere in the 20 euros, I believe. But with that money, they will create those content shows during the week. Now, it gives us a short lore video on Tuesday, and not even every Tuesday, I think. It gives us an 8-minute video on Thursday and an hour-long live session on Friday with the developers. Now, ADV was a show that lasted 30 minutes and had like 20 minutes of information. For example, it gave us a look at the different offices every week, so that they could tell us what they were up to last month and what they were working on, etc., etc. Now, this show was informative. It gave us the feeling we really got a look inside the bowels of CIG, and it maybe didn't have the content that you were looking for at that time, but yeah, everybody has different interests. But it was at least enjoyable, informative, and it was interesting. Right now, I got really the feeling that they're holding back on information for whatever reason, and I guess it will be a good reason. But we barely see any 3.7 or 3.8 content at the moment, and I don't know why. And as Salty Mike perfectly put it, last week's Inside Star Citizen should be aired during their 3 weeks off period. Now, after they release a major patch, which is every quarter, the majority of the developers are killing bugs at that time and are not working on the future builds. So in this 3 weeks period, they could easily show us non-future patch related content, as for example, this one with the Q&A team, or for example, the backend team. Hell, for all I care, the cleaning lady brushing our beloved toilets. This will lead me again to the open development. Now, in my opinion, this is getting limited due to probably a fear of getting critics about features that are being worked on that, well, maybe won't survive till the next future build, and they get pulled back out. Now, even if things don't make it into the game, it's not a reason to not show them at all. These things are just as important as the rest of the information and can give the community, well, a better insight of how things are going in the development of Star Citizen. That way we are not left with a billion questions unanswered because CIG is withholding us from any information why certain things are not in the game. Now, if we take a quick glance at the roadmap right now, we see that for the last couple of weeks there is almost no movement at all. They must be working on something, right? And I'm sure there will be a good explanation, but why don't they get this information out? And if they do, I think it would lead to having a more appreciation for the work they're doing. And of course, there always will be the haters and the trolls, but the majority is generally interested in the way if the development is progressing at this moment. And as I like to call it, it's a roller coaster ride, and I want to experience that. Now, again, a new piece of information came in after my original edit. This Friday, we will see the second pillar talk with Chris Roberts and Tony Zurovic. Hopefully, there will be a clarification of a rumor that's going on this week. On last week's concierge event, where they introduced the Nautilus, it was told apparently by Chris Roberts to a fan that the aim for server-side OCS is patch 3.8, but there is a big possibility that it will be moved to early next year. Now, however, I do believe this rumor to be true, and to make it even worse, I'm also a strong believer that server-side OCS will not be seen in 3.8, but it will make its appearance next year, I think, together with Microtech and other big objects. Now, again, I said it before, I absolutely don't see it happening this year, and I know it's not the information we want to hear, but that's just the truth. Now, on Friday, we saw Star Citizen live. It was the first complete walkthrough of the 890 jump, which looks absolutely gorgeous. So, not much to say here. You just should check it out when it gets in live. If you own it, I'm very jealous of you. Because yeah, this is by far the most beautiful design ship in the verse. The eye for detail is insane. Oh, by the way, the orange pool table, guys, thank you so much for creating that. Although I can't buy the ship, but it's awesome. We're going out with a very nice Star Citizen video that has been put out by Commander Terada. Go subscribe to this man's channel. The link can be found below because he and his fellow pilots, they deserve it. It's an awesome video they created. So again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a follow on Twitch while you're at it. And that's twitch.tv/Bockbiertje. Thank you for watching and see you next time, guys.